Jesus is at the house of a guy called Simon the leper, and he's chatting to all these people, and they're all listening to every word, and suddenly into the scene bursts this woman, and she's carrying an alabaster jar. And without any warning whatsoever, she throws this thing on the floor and smashes it to pieces, and then proceeds to scoop up this fragrant ointment and smear it all over Jesus' hair, whilst crying and loving him and kissing him at the same time. And the whole place is silent watching this spectacle of public affection going on. And people start to, after the initial shock, they start to judge the woman and say, oh, this perfume was so valuable. It could have been sold for a year's wages and the money could have fed the poor. Just think of the waste. And Jesus says, leave her alone. The poor, you are always going to have with you. You can take care of them tomorrow, but you're not always going to have me with you. And what she has done a beautiful thing to me. Right. We know that God looks on the heart. Man looks on the outward appearance, but God looks on the heart. So when he's commenting on the beauty of this thing that she's done, he's not saying, oh, how sensitive you picked my absolute favorite perfume. That's so lovely. I'm so touched. He wasn't thinking, oh, what a beautiful smell that is. That's my favorite smell. Or, oh, I really like that. He wasn't commenting on the monetary value of the thing or the jar being a beautiful jar. He was commenting on the act of devotion that was springing up from this woman's heart. And this was not some piece of sacrifice that was required under the law of Moses. There's no place in the Bible that it's written down, thou shalt smash thy alabaster jar. This is just this lady just pouring her heart out to God. And the alabaster jar is this incredible picture of a broken-hearted worshipper who, when they worship, they release this fragrance into the room. And then Jesus says, what she has done will be talked about as long as the gospel is preached. And we know that they're preaching the gospel even in heaven. Heaven is eternal. So even now, for eternity, forever and ever and ever, this thing, this act is going to be talked about. And we're talking about it 2,000 years later, because this is something that God truly values. This is something that Jesus says is eternally beautiful, and it's of eternal value to me. That broken-hearted devotion and extravagant voluntary worship.